Good morning. Well, welcome to Unity Orlando. Our opening statement this morning is, I pray with an elevated mind and open heart. Let's all affirm that together. I pray with an elevated mind and an open heart. Elevated mind and an open heart. And we'll get those words on just as soon as we won't need them anymore. All right, great. Let's say that one more time all together, just right. I pray with an elevated mind and open heart. Very good. All right, let's all close our eyes, take a nice deep breath in, and let's affirm that together in the silence. And so it is. And now if you'd like to join us, please stand and we'll sing our joy song this morning. It's called Spirit Invitation.
Good morning. Good morning, Unity Orlando. How is everybody today? Good to see your beautiful, beautiful faces. I'm Susan Francis. I'm your platform speaker today. I have some announcements. Do we have any visitors? Well, are you guys new? Okay, welcome. Your family, everyone's family. So I invite you to go over to Meyer Hall after service and enjoy some food and fellowship. So for those of you at home, you can download the notes, today's lesson on unityorlando.org. And if you go to the services page, there's a section there that says lesson notes. Tap on that picture and you can get the notes from today. Everyone else has the notes in the bulletin. Also, reminder about the food drive. You can bring non-perishable food items on Sunday morning or Tuesday from 10 to 3 o'clock. Also, if you would like to order from Amazon, you can help the church by entering through the Amazon link at the bottom of our webpage. If you already have an Amazon Smile and want to change your giving to us, you can find us under our old name, Unity Church of Christianity. Also, a reminder that the World Day of Prayer is September 8th. Please fill out a prayer list, and the chaplains will pray for these lists for 30 days, and then we'll send them to Silent Unity for another 30 days. So these lists can be found on the credenza. Also, midweek prayer and meditation with Reverend Ronnie and myself is every Wednesday, the first Wednesday and the third of the month. It's on Facebook at 4:30, so that means it'll be coming this Wednesday. Also, Navigating A Course in Miracles with Reverend Ronnie and Paul Kenny meet by Zoom every Wednesday at 7 p.m. If you're interested in attending, please email Reverend Ronnie via our website. Her email address is there. Also, the Unity Men's Group is meeting every Wednesday at 4 p.m. on the corner of Hal Branch and 436 in the Starbucks. And they also meet on the third Sunday of each month in the Courtyard Classroom. I need to take a deep breath. There's a lot. The Soul Group meets on the fourth Friday of the month in Meyer Hall. And Reverend Lulu has a new book class coming. The book is by Reverend Robert Brummett. It's called Finding Yourself in Transition. It starts this coming Wednesday at 7 p.m. If you want to join us, contact Reverend Lulu. Her info's on this flyer, which is also on our Facebook page and should be on our website. Also, the chaplains, just a reminder, are available for you to pray with you after service if you would like that. So I am a chaplain, and I might be all alone, but I'm available. Okay, and then Reverend Bob's lesson today is preparing for something new, but you know me, I have a little story to tell you. So the other day, Reverend Bob came to visit me, and he said to me, at your advanced age, I think you should be thinking of the hair after. I told him, oh, I do that all the time. No matter where I am, in the living room, upstairs, in the kitchen, or up in the attic, I'm always asking myself, now, what am I here after? So there you go. And without further ado, I'm going to turn it back over to Brian.
Thank you very much. And here's another something good. Something new. I feel like rejoicing. I'm brand new. I feel like the wind blowing strong, glowing in the dark all night. Something good. It's not a myth. It's understood. I feel like a mountain standing tall. I never am lonely, alone with it. And when the evening is calm and nothing moves at all, we're all silent. of something good. I feel like rejoicing. I'm brand new. I feel like the wind blowing strong. I'm glowing in the dark all night long. And when the morning is gone and nothing moves at all, where all silence makes no sound, a holy presence all around. Something good. Something good. Something good. Something good.
Oh, that was wonderful. Whoa, there we go. That's what happens when you talk in front of a speaker. How is everyone today? You good? How are you all at home? Glad to have you with us. Happy Labor Day weekend. Who'd ever thought we'd get here? Summer is complete. We're beginning the fall season. I know people in Florida consider September a summer month, but hey, fall is here. And because it's September, we're going to talk about opening a new cycle in our life. The title is Preparing for Something New. You say, really? September is the time for a new cycle? I thought that was January. Well, it is if you think in terms of years. But if you ever grew up in school, you know September is when you start the new cycle, right? The kids are back in school. Everyone's coming back from vacation. And because everyone settles in once again, we're ready to start some new long-range plans, new long-range cycles. So, last week, can I have just a little more? Yeah. Last week, we recommitted to the goals that we want to accomplish, those spiritual goals we want to accomplish through the end of the year. So we said, okay, this is where I want to go. This is what I want to do. This week, we're going to prepare ourselves to embrace a whole new life. A new life that includes all of those goals we're talking about. But we're ready to start over. This is a new start. We're ready for our lives, what, to be transformed into something new? Romans 12:2. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. That's how you create a new life. You renew your mind. People try so often to transform their lives by changing the outer things they're encountering. And that works for a little while. Okay? But it's not permanent. If we keep the same consciousness, even though we change the things in our outer world, that same consciousness pulls us right back that direction. And in the end, we end up in the same place we were before. The old reasserts itself. So the only way to truly transform your life into something new and better is from inside out. I like to put it this way. To belong in a better life, you need to be a better person. You can change and get better circumstances. But if you're the old person, everything will eventually slip back to where it was. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Now, on the contrary, if you work on the inner, remember I said, if you change outer things but don't change what's inside of you, eventually the outer things will revert back. If you change the inner, on the contrary, if you change your inner world for the better, things automatically start to change in your outer life. If you change the way you think and feel, the life you live will change. And if you're changing it for the better, so will the circumstances that you encounter. So, to start a new cycle, we've got to, once again, do two things. Release the old consciousness. Let go of the way you saw things. And embrace a whole new way to see your life, a whole new way to see things. That's what transformation's all about. Now in Matthew 12, 43 through 44, Jesus tells a parable. It says, when an unclean spirit goes out of man, it travels in places where there is no water and seeks rest and does not find it. And then it says, I will return to my own house from whence I came. And so it comes back and finds it empty, warm, and well furnished. Ever notice that when you're trying to get over being angry? You say, okay, I'm not angry over this anymore. I keep dropping out at certain points. Is there anything you can do about it? Nope. Okay, you're not hearing that. When you get angry and you say, okay, I'm not going to be angry anymore. And you'd say, I'm not going to think about this, and you take your mind off of it. How often have you found that before long, you're right back there? It slips right back in. Now, the way I describe that is that so often in life, we put our body in a state of anger. Your body is also in an angry state. And so, here you are, you've moved it out of your mind, but your body is also breathing shallow and fast, doing all of this. And before long, the body state just calls it right back. I use that as an analogy for how it is with our life. We say, okay, I have failed till now. I'm going to finally succeed. I'm going to work on success. I am going to be a success. And it works for a little while. But if your mind is still churning out that rapid heartbeat, shallow breathing, in mental terms, meaning if your mind is still turning out obsession on how you're mistreated, on this is not happening, criticism, sadness, all of those things that we have made habitual. If your mind's still doing that, no way you're going to succeed. It's coming back. So, when an unclean spirit goes out of a man, that's when we kick out the old, the negative, the anger, the resentment. We say, that's it. It's gone for a while. But if we don't put anything back in its place, it's a vacuum that just sucks it right back in. So in the end, if you're going to change your life, there are 2 phases to this process. 2 parts. Number 1, you've got to unload the old consciousness. You got to let it go. You got to let go of the past. You got to turn away from all those thought patterns that you have used. And many of them, though they're negative, are things we actually enjoy. It's just comfortable. When you're in line, isn't the easiest way to strike up a conversation with someone there standing to complain about what's going on? Everybody's comfortable with complaint, right? So we slip back into what we're most comfortable with. And what we're going to have to do is actually unload this, unload it entirely. But then you're going to have to do phase 2. You can't just let go of the past. You've got to deeply embrace the new self that you want to be. This is what I want to be. And I'm going to embrace it. This is what I am now. The example is a hoarder. A hoarder can literally clear everything out. But if they don't change the way they approach life, it's all going to be back in no time flat, right? Unfortunately, we've seen that happen over and over. So, let's talk about the 2 phases, and we're going to start with part 1. Let's start with clearing out the old in order to make room for the new. Clear out the old in order to make room for the new. Well, I've got 5 suggestions under each category. Let's get started. If you're trying to clear out the old, a physical cleansing is therapeutic and always prepares for something new. Now, you're going to tell me, you just said changing the physical world isn't going to do it. Yeah. But you can use this change as a reminder. It is a way of physically expressing that you're in a new state of consciousness. So, okay, as I've often told you, the most therapeutic thing I've done in the last few years was to sell the 3 acres and the 2,400 square foot of fixer-upper that I had. And in order to do so, the buyer insisted I was not able to just walk away from everything that was on that property. I had to clear it. And I cleared 28 years of my life. Yeah, people, I love to explain how much I took off of there. I've told you before, if you haven't heard, it was 8,000 pounds of metal, 3 large dumpsters, the stuff that went to the second-hand shop. And where I was, it was country enough. Everyone in the neighborhood does burn large fires. And I ran a large fire, something, half the size of a house fire, for 2 weeks. Did I clear stuff out of my life? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, and then there was the stuff that left that we moved into Patty's home when we merged our lives into there. Okay? There's nothing like clearing out the physical things you've attracted to say to you, I'm in a new life. I'm in a new consciousness. So, okay, do a cleansing. Go through and clean up the house, clear out what you don't need. Recognize that we are saving things just because we've always saved them. At least I am. I've had to go through and realize that sometimes I'm never going to use this. This was a dream I had years ago, but now I realize I'm never actually going to do this. And I need to let it go. That's called letting go of the past. The second practice is to practice forgiveness, release of everyone and everything that carries any negative energy for you. Okay? This is breaking up the log jams, and this is true inner work. I said, first we're going to do something in the outer that represents what we're doing in the inner, and now we're going to get serious about the inner. And the inner is, if you want things to cut loose and you want a better life, you have got to let go of those cherished resentments that we've been holding on to for decades. My mother never liked me as much as everyone else. Or in my case, the words temporary insanity were created for my mother. I need to let that go. I've never been able to do well at this or that or the other. I need to let that go. I need to forgive the people that I think held me back. I need to forgive myself for the mistakes I made. I need to forgive the world for sometimes not seeming all that fair. And I definitely need to forgive all of those people that irritate the tar out of me. And forgiveness, in the end, is another word for release. I need to just plain let it go. Because in the future I envision, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you can go on a program of going over everything that causes you to clench up just a little bit and letting it go. And you're going to have to do it more than once. I only want to let this go once. Well, you might be able to do that. But the truth is, it's probably going to circle around and come back and say, I'm home again. You know, just like Jesus' parable. So you're probably going to have to forgive on a regular basis. If forgive is, I let it go. I let it go. People will always say, this person doesn't deserve forgiveness. And my answer is, I don't care whether they deserve forgiveness. You deserve to be free of this. And the only way to do that is to forgive. Forgiveness, release of the negative energies inside of you will literally transform your life. The third suggestion is to turn away from long-term patterns that aren't constructive. Change the patterns that aren't serving you right now. I've done this all of my life, but it isn't serving the new life I'm trying to create. I had a friend once who heard me say something along this line and went home, and on the way out he told me, and he scared the tar out of me, he said, well, what I got out of there is I've got to get rid of all my old friends that aren't on my path to where I'm going now. And I went, really? Please don't give me credit for that. And he did it. He was a musician. He said, I want to play with the big boys now. I'm ready to step up. I'm considering a move to Nashville, et cetera, et cetera. And what I'm going to do is I've got all these, this actually is before he got to the move to Nashville. He said, I've got all these local friends, druggy friends I grew up with that show up, and I give them my time and we slip back into the old consciousness. And I'm married, I've got a new life, I'm trying to do something with my profession in a wonderful way right now, and this is not serving me. And it was a little scary, I suppose, at first, when all these friends, he's like no longer really available to them. But he found new friends who were on his path to where he wanted to go. They represented the higher form of life he wanted to live. And in the end, as I said, he made that move to Nashville. He started working with some of the top names in the field. I think at one point, Tanya Tucker asked him to come and be her sound man in her private studio, and he turned it down because he wanted something broader. But he had to be willing to let go of the past to embrace something that was pretty big in the future. So, what habit patterns are you willing to turn away from? I've just got a short fuse. That's just me. And that's your way of just trying to warn everyone off, right? I'm not going to take responsibility for the fact I get angry. Yeah, you need to. I need to. We all need to. We've got to change habits of anger and resentment. We have to confront our fears and turn away from the fear that surrounds whatever it is that's concerning us. Doesn't mean we won't have to face it. But fear won't make it any better. It'll definitely make it worse. So, what are your negative patterns? Some people start with something simple, like they have this, it always goes wrong. Well, no, that needs to be changed to things always work out. Okay? You got to let go of some real comfortable patterns and little quips we say. Sometimes we think they're cute, and that's why we keep saying them. We have fun. But the bottom line is they represent a very negative concept. And we're trying to transform our lives. So we got to turn away from that. Okay. Turn away from whatever long-term patterns you can find inside of yourself that are not constructive, that are not on your way to where you're going. Number 4, let go of the limits that the past has provided you with. The past is very good at telling you what you can no longer do. I can't do that. I've never been able to. When I was in high school, I became a pole vaulter because there weren't many pole vaulters, and you could do fairly well if the field was really small. Actually, I became one of the top pole vaulters in the league. But when I hit 11 foot 6 inches. I went over 11 foot 6 inches dozens of times in competitions. And every time they moved that bar up 6 inches to 12 foot, I almost made it. I managed to knock the bar off in some fashion as I was going over. And part of it became the mental thing that, the mental concept that I'd never gone beyond it. I'd never gone beyond 11 foot 6 inches. It shouldn't have been an issue. But because I had failed several times, there was something inside of me that said, you're going to fail this time too. I used to say very clearly, what I know the moment my last foot leaves the ground is what's going to happen. If I know I'm going over, I go over. If I have doubt, I ain't making it. That's that. And a pattern of failure held me right in place. How often does that happen to us? We say, well, I've never been able to do this. Well, this is a new cycle, and I can succeed where before I failed. That is what we're going to have to embrace. We're going to have to let go of these limits. Some people are sure they can't ever find the right person, and they live it out. Some people are sure they can't ever really land a good job. Some people are sure they can't ever, I don't know, what can't you do? Your past is hemming you in. What if you were to take all these limits off and say, this is a new game. This is a new cycle. All possibilities are on the table. That's what letting go of the past and its limits does. Everything's on the table again. Can you let go of things? You say, but I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. Well, allergies seem to be just the way they are, right? When I was a kid, I loved the outside. But every summer I came home with poison ivy. If I went in the woods, I got poison ivy, and those little bubbles could make me miserable. Then I got so sensitive that I got poison ivy when I rolled in the grass where there was no poison ivy. They called it weed poisoning. Well, that's really great for a little boy who likes to be outside. And I lived with that through much of my life, or at least for a number of years, probably from 6 years old until I think I was probably 15, maybe 16. I think it was the summer when I turned 16, I said, I am really tired of this pattern. And I got it straight in my head. I said, I do not get poison ivy, and I am not going to get it this year. Now, I'd had it every year for the last 10. You know, it took a lot to let go of that past pattern. Took a lot of willpower to keep bringing it up and saying, that isn't me anymore. That is not me anymore. I am not allergic. And I was so willful about holding that for the entire year that summer I really didn't get any poison ivy. Actually, I did at one point get 2 little bubbles by my finger, and that was it. And I've never gotten it again the rest of my life. We left that one behind. So what you willing to leave behind? You don't have to be hemmed in by the past. There's one last phase to this, and that is let go of your old self-image. I know we all think we know who we are. In the end, you have no idea who you really are. You aren't this outer self at all. And quite frankly, who you are changes. You're going to have to be a new self if you want a higher life. You literally are going to have to change the way you define yourself. My story here is that of a young woman who, one of my friends back in Fort Pierce, when I had the church there, she was few years older than I was, but gorgeous. I used to say I had the most gorgeous friends in the world, even though I was single the entire time. Anyway, or pretty much of it. We were going out. She was a Mexican food buddy, and we went out, and one night she's sitting over there talking to me, and she says, yeah, when I was in high school, she said, I had mousy brown hair with glasses. I was shy and a wallflower, and nobody even knew I existed. And she said, I always wanted to be the vivacious blonde without glasses who was the life of the party. And I looked at the girl across the table from me and I said, that's who you are. And she said, I know, I changed myself. Whoa. You can change yourself. You can become that greater being that you envision and wish you were. You can say, that's who I am, and that's what I'm going to fulfill in my life. But the first step is to realize that who you thought you were is not who you are anymore. So let's talk in that second phase. We're going to kick out the evil spirit and send it off on its way. But you got to make sure it doesn't come back and find everything ready and warm and waiting for it. The old self will try to return. So you've got to embrace the new self. That which you're aspiring to fulfill in your life. And how are we going to do this? Well, we're going to embrace new constructive behavioral patterns. Once again, as we started the other one off with something physical you could do to represent what you were letting go of, we're going to do the same thing here. Do something new to represent what you're embracing. If you don't make your bed, determine to make your bed every day. And get up and do it. Or wash the dishes in a timely fashion. Am I giving too much information about me? Because I've done both of these things now. Or keep the house straight. What I'm suggesting is pick out some little thing, whatever it is you can think of, that will be the symbol of your new life, and do it every single day. Okay? I'm going to meditate every night before I go to sleep. I'm going to get up in the morning and put on the armor of light. I'm going to see myself surrounded with light, and I'm going to do it every morning. You know, whatever it is. It can be anything. It can be an outer physical thing, or, as I just said, a mental thing. but it's something you're going to do every day to symbolize your new life. Number 2, embrace joy, praise, and gratitude each day. You want a better life? These are the qualities of a better life. And so, you look at your life exactly where it is, and you say, I am going to experience more joy here. I remember there was a time in my life, it was following, never thought I'd utter these words, my first divorce. In any case, following that time, I was really in depression for quite a while. And someone explained to me that I've told this over and over, but I love this story. Explained to me that someone could heal me. This being, go give him $100 and he could balance your aura and solve everything. And I thought, well, that's an easy way to go. Let's do that. So we went to see the guy. He works on me a little while, and finally he says, I can't really help you. What you need is more joy in your life. And I thought, tell me something I don't know. I also thought, do I get my $100 back? Oh, this was ages ago. But I set myself on a path of putting more joy in my life. You want a new and better life? Put more joy in your life. You can do it. And one of the ways is to start praising everyone and everything that you can. Wherever you go, praise. Think, ooh, I got a project. I got to praise someone. You have to praise them legitimately. If you hate what they're wearing, you don't say, I love what you're wearing. Okay? But you find something you can praise. There's always something to praise. And gratitude. My God, if there's anything that can transform your life and make it better, it's gratitude. So determining to use joy, praise, and gratitude. Maybe for me, it's every night I want to thank God for my new life. And I do. Before I go to bed. Thank you, God, for my new life. I love it. This is wonderful. So what are we doing? We're trying to replace those things that we tried to kick out, right? Criticism, complaint, anger, sadness, or even dreariness. We got to let those go, but you can't just let them go. You got to put something in their place. And what you put in their place is joy, praise, and gratitude. And no matter where your life is, you can resurrect those 3 qualities. Number 3, in the embracing your new self and your new life, is to create positive thought patterns that support your new, better life. They can be affirmations, little things you say. We've said lots of negative things because they sounded cute. Can you say, things always work out over and over throughout your day? God will take care of me. Everything is in divine order. If these become your patterns, your go-to positive thought patterns, you're off and running in your new life. Then the new pattern is to expect. Every time when you get up, expect something good will happen today. Maybe you have to say it to yourself, but expect and look for good things to be happening wherever you go, whatever you do. And then maybe you image yourself every day. I live in a bubble of goodness. Hold that image. That's that higher life you want, right? The 4th suggestion is to immerse yourself in your new spiritual goals and daily do the prayer work to make them happen. So often we lose our transformation, we lose our new life for lack of effort. Our prayer projects fall, as I said last week, to the back of the dresser drawer, the bedside table drawer, where my pile of cards went. And yes, setting your intent can have a powerful effect, whether you are supporting it or not, but it's going to have a much more powerful effect if you're willing to do the prayer work on a daily basis to keep your mind centered on where you're going. So pray, image, affirm. Feel all of these prayer goals that you envision. Feel it as your reality and know this is your time. The time is now. This is when I am demonstrating this. And of course, it leads us to the fifth one. If the fifth one on phase one was let go of your old self-image, the fifth one here is create a new self-image, a new sense of who you are. Quit seeing yourself the way you've seen yourself. A lot of self-image is unconscious. We've unconsciously seen ourselves a certain way. See yourself as healthy, happy, prospered, successful, surrounded in light. See yourself as an asset to humanity, not just a leech feeding off humanity. I'm not just trying to get by. My presence here is an asset to humanity. See that. Embrace that. And maybe you affirm over and over, I am a new person, and this is a new life I'm living. I am a new person, and this is a new life that I'm living. Today is the perfect time to start preparing for something new and wonderful to unfold in your life. This can be the beginning of a whole new cycle for you. If you're willing to let go of the old and embrace all the possibilities of the new. Let's close our eyes. Take a deep breath and sigh it out. Peace. Be still. And feel yourself letting go. Go within to your heart. Peace. Be still. And in your heart, there are those little blocks of darkness. Anger, resentment, fear, sadness, disappointment, dreariness. We're not going to just cover them up this time. Let them go. Visually see the points of darkness departing. See them repelled right out of your heart. Into the outside darkness beyond. and see your heart bathed in light. Any fear that we have harbored, right now we let it go. It doesn't matter. And that fear no longer has any power over us. Release the past. All the limits your past has imposed upon you. Let him go. Just because it's always been that way doesn't mean it has to always be that way. Now is my time to be something new. So release that old self. I am not who I have believed myself to be. Remember, my friend, I didn't like who I was, so I changed myself. You can let it all go. And embrace a whole new positive outlook. Realize in this new life that you're living, things always work out. God will take care of me. And everything is in divine order. Something good will happen today. And I live in a bubble of goodness. Wherever I go, that bubble of goodness goes with me. Feel joy rising out of your heart. Feel praise of the beauty of the world around you. And gratitude to God for this new life that you are entering. Think of your spiritual goals, that which you envision demonstrating in your life. And realize they are yours to claim. And your time is now. I am a new person. The transforming power of the Holy Spirit is flowing through me now, renewing me in every way. I am a new person. And this is a new life I am living. And I can't wait to see all the good God has waiting for me. Father, thy will be done, thy wonderful will for good be fulfilled in each of our lives. Amen. And if the usher will come forward, we'll prepare for our offering. for those of you online. The way you give your offering, if you're new to this, the rest of you can almost repeat it with me. You go to the home page at the end of service, hit the Donate Now button, and you can use credit card or PayPal. You can pull off our address and mail us a check. Or if it's easier for you, you can call the office and arrange for regular offerings. Whatever works for you. Thank you. Your gifts and the gifts of everyone who attends in person are what keeps us going, and we are truly appreciative. Let's bless our offering as we give it together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all the good I am and have, all the good I give and receive. Thank you, God. Amen. It's all yours, Brian.
Thank you, Reverend Bob. And here's a song that it talks just everything about what you were saying. Clearing a space so you have something new in your life. It's called The Door is Open. Clear my space so I can get rid of it. Open my eyes so I can see through it. Open up my mind, the door is open. Clear my mind so I can just think of it. Open my heart so I can really feel it. Welcome in my life, the door is open. I step into my life with a heart wide open. The situations realign to higher vibrations. The spirit comes alive, transmuting my whole life. Clear my mind so I can just think of it. Open my heart so I can really feel it. Welcome in my life, my door is open. Creating my life whenever I think of it. God's love comes through and I really feel it. God comes through my life with a heart wide open. I step into my life with a heart wide open. Situations realign to higher vibrations. The spirit comes alive, transmuting my whole life. Clear my space so I can get rid of it. Open my eyes so I can think through it. Open up my mind, the door is open. My mind so I can just think of it. My heart so I can really feel it. Welcome in my life, the door is wide open.
Ah, that's wonderful. Ah, the beauty of Brian and I working together so long is he's got a song for almost everything I can talk about. That was perfect. You're absolutely right. Thank you all, each of you, for your contribution to this service. Okay, whether you're watching at home or attending in person, thank you for being Unity Orlando. You're the church. Let's close by rising and radiating into the world our prayer of protection. Together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. God bless you all. Have a wonderful week.